بِالتَّعَلُّمْ وَإِنَّمَا الْحِلْمُ بِالتَّحَلُّمْ. That verily knowledge is through seeking knowledge. You cure ignorance by learning. And hilm, which is to have a mild temper, to be controlled, composed when someone does something or says something, right? To be patient with people.
Is this in any way connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's name, Al-Halim?
Yes. Okay. So Al-Hilm is to be forbearing. Allah is Al-Halim, in that Allah does not punish people right when they sin. Imagine if we were punished right when we committed sins. Okay? So Al-Hilm, the Tahallum, the Prophet ﷺ is saying that the same way that you read a book to stop being ignorant, you practice patience, you practice forbearance to become a forbearing person. To control your temper, to have composure, to have discipline, to know not to, to react in a certain way. Khasama fajr, right? To go overboard. You work on that for yourself. One of the problems, subhanAllah, is that people that have a hot temper, they just say, look, I can't do anything about that. I come from a loud house. Everyone had a hot temper. It's just who I am. So even when I get religious, I still have a hot temper. No, you can control it. You can work on it. That's what the Prophet ﷺ is saying. Even that can be worked on. You can learn to control your temper as well. So the scholars say is that you can't have hilm without humility. You can't learn forbearance if you're not a humble person. So humility has to precede forbearance. And so you have a composed presence in general, a mild presence, a non-demanding presence, not one that's harmful. And then after that, you build on it the quality of forbearance. Hence the very next verse in Surah Al-Furqan, وَإِذَا خَاطَبَهُمُ الْجَاهِلُونَ قَالُوا سَلَامًا. When the ignorant approach them, خَاطَبَهُم, okay, when the ignorant bother them or seek to bother them, they just say salam. Like they brush it off. They're able to brush it off. Jahl in the Arabic language is synonymous with ghadab, with a hot temper, with anger. So this is not talking about uneducated people. Jahilun here is not talking about uneducated people. It's talking about rude people. It's talking about people that are rude. So when
Jerks.
they're rude, it's talking about a jerk. Okay? And Allah says in Surah Al-Qasas, verse 55, so it's chapter 28, verse 55, وَإِذَا سَمِعُوا اللَّغْوَ أَعْرَضُوا عَنْهُ وَقَالُوا لَنَا أَعْمَالُنَا وَلَكُمْ أَعْمَالُكُمْ سَلَامٌ عَلَيْكُمْ لَا نَبْتَغِي الْجَاهِلِينَ. When they hear vain talk, they hear people start talking nonsense, they turn away from it and they say, listen, we have our way, you have your way. We have our deeds, you have your deeds. Salamun alaykum. Peace be unto you. We don't desire to act like the foolish. We're not interested. We're not going to get pulled into this. Okay? So, there are multiple, ayat, خُذِ الْعَفْوَ وَأْمُرْ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَأْمُرْ بِالْعُرْفِ عَفْوًا وَأَعْرِضْ عَنِ الْجَاهِلِينَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, keep yourself to forgiveness, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Enjoin kindness and just turn away from the ignorant. Turn away from the foolish. When the foolish try to mess with you, when they try to knock you out of your element, right? Stay in your element. Salam, right? I'm not interested in fighting you. Okay? Now, this is not the salam here. When we talk about this salam, this is not reflecting the actual word of salam. This is the idea of turning away from ignorance with peace. Right? So it's like, you really want to anger someone in the masjid, get in an argument with someone, you go, salam. Because what are you implying there? That you're a fool. You're not worth my time. Salama. I've seen it happen, by the way. Salama, right? Like you're a fool. So I'm saying salama to put you in that classification and put me in that rank of someone who is absolved, right? That's not what this is talking about. That's talking about not being provoked. Not being provoked. Not letting someone provoke you. So in Ramadan, Prophet ﷺ said, if someone comes and tries to mess with you while you're fasting, simply say what? Inni sa'im. I'm fasting. See, not you're an idiot. I'm fasting. Right? Like, don't bother my state right now. I'm fasting. Okay? I don't have time for this, nor do I have the capacity, nor do I have the interest in getting into an argument with you. Okay? Try saying it in the car, even when you're driving and someone cuts you off, like, inni sa'im. Remind yourself of the state sometimes. You have to roll down your window and say, inni sa'im, I'm fasting. Roll down your window. I'm fasting. Stop cutting me off, right? It's not worth it. The point is, I'm in a place right now, let me be. Okay? I'm not interested in fighting you. And salam is, peace. Like, just go on. We're okay. All right? Salamu alaikum. Peace be unto you. Let's not go any further. So you don't let people in your heart. You don't let them in your mind. It's basically be gone, but in a nice way. Okay? There was a man that was cursing Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu. So he got up and he walked away. And the man said, Iyaka anni. Get away from me. Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu said, Wa anka u'rid. And from you I'm turning away. The man said to him, La asubbannaka sabban yadkhulu ma'aka al-qabr. I'm going to curse you with something that is going to follow you to your grave. Like what I'm about to say, if you don't get away from me, then I'm about to say something to you that's going to follow you to your grave. Meaning,
this is Abu Bakr as-Siddiq saying to the man.
No, the man is saying this to Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu.
Okay.
So he's trying to provoke him.
Okay.
And he said, Iyaka anni, get away from me. And Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu said, Wa anka u'rid. I'm turning away from you. I'm going away. He said, I'm going to say something to you. I'm going to curse you in a way that the curse will stay with you in your grave. Meaning, I'm going to say something so embarrassing, so harmful to you that people will remember it, right? Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu said, إِنَّمَا يَدْخُلُ مَعَكَ لَا مَعِي. It'll enter the grave with you, not with me. Meaning, you'll be held accountable for it. I'll be fine when I go to my grave. So the man said to him, لَإِن قُلْتَ لِي كَلِمَةً لَتَسْمَعَنَّ عَشْرًا. If you say one word back to me, I'm going to say 10 back to you. Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu said, وَإِن قُلْتَ لِي عَشْرًا. And if you say to me 10 words, لَن تَسْمَعَ مِنِّي كَلِمَةً وَاحِدَةً. I won't even say one word back to you. Like, we're done. Let this be over. He's trying to get in a fight with him. And he's like, I'm not arguing with you. I'm not fighting with you. Right? Umar bin Abdul Aziz, rahimahullah ta'ala, very famous incident with him too. Or maybe not that famous, where he was walking into the masjid for khutbah. And he's the khalifa. He's the leader of the ummah. And he accidentally, bumped into someone as he was trying to get to the minbar. And the man said, are you crazy? Are you a majnoon? And Umar ibn Abdul Aziz said, no. And just kept walking. Not crazy. And so people then got up, they wanted to throw the man out the masjid for talking to Umar ibn Abdul Aziz. And Umar ibn Abdul Aziz came back and said, what are you doing? They said, didn't you hear what he said to you? He called you a crazy man. And he said, no, he asked me a question and I answered his question. Leave him alone. Let him sit. Let the man sit. It's okay. So this is not just with verbal words, right? This is in general an attitude. Like if someone writes something about you or to you, just don't descend to the level of someone that's trying to get in your head, trying to get, to interrupt your peace, your salam.
The saying, if you wrestle with a pig, you'll also get dirty?
Yes. Wrestle with a pig, you'll be dirty too. Absolutely. And so that's why the Prophet ﷺ mentioned the truest strength, the greatest form of strength is what? Composure. الَّذِي يَمْلِكُ نَفْسَهُ عِنْدَ الْغَضَبِ. The strongest person is the one who controls himself when he is angry. So that's your composure. The hypocrite loses their mind, loud, arrogant, right? The believer, they hold themselves. I'm not going to let you into my zone. You transgress, keep going. I'm not interested. Assalamu alaikum. Okay? And if you seek forgiveness, you're forgiven.